Dear students, welcome to Sia's digital classes. Today's concept is consumer price index. Actually, here missing frequencies also will discuss in consumer price index how it goes on. Let us check it out. Some problem. They have given a problem here. Check it out. A textile worker in the city of Ahmedabad earns 850 per month. So some data they have given, earnings they have given. So 850 earning he has got some of the worker. Then the cost of living index for January 1988 is given as 160. So some other data also they have given, CLI and value they have given for us. Using the following data, find out amounts he spends on food and rent. So actually this is CLIN problem itself, but with missing data. For that they have given some information. So whenever some data is missing, what they do is to obtain that overall totals they'll be giving for us. So here overall expenditure they have given for us as well as CLIN value they have given. So already we discussed CLIN formulas, right? So the same formula will be having, but already some of the information they have given so that we can obtain our missing values. So check it out the data. What we have here, food they have given, food, clothing, rent, fuel and miscellaneous data they have given. In that expenditures and group index they have given. So expenditures, check it out, food data is missing, means how much they spent on food, that data is missing, as well as rent, how much rent they are paying is also missing here. So regular CLIN problem itself, but what happened is some of the data is missing. So to obtain that data they have given the clues that overall expenditure total they have given and CLIN value also they have given. Let us utilize that given information and let us try to find out the x and y values. I'll consider them as x and y, whichever are the missing values are there in expenditure, I'll consider them as x and y, and we need to identify them. So I've considered food value whatever missing as x and y rent as y. So now let us go for obtaining. So once again let us revise the formula first of CLIN. So what is the formula here? So cost of living index is equal to summation IW by summation W. It's a regular formula itself, but here missing values we need to identify. So what we require from the table? So summation IW we require as well as W totals we require. So expenditure is W for us, that is wages, right? So expenditure is W and group index whatever the given data is there, that is I for us. So what we require? I into W I require. W total if you do, that becomes a summation W. So these are the values we require. So I made a column, IW column. So we need to multiply them as well as we have to add up W value. So expenditure value 1 to 1 you have to add up. So but here variables are there as well as numbers are there. Generally entire numbers means simply 1 to 1 will add and we'll get the totals. But here two are the variables, others are the numbers. So how to add up? We need to add numbers, all the numbers together. Then x and y you have to keep as it is with the plus symbols. So that's what I have done here. Check it out. What I have done? 130 plus 105 plus 80 I have got as 315. So like that numbers we have to add up. Leftover x, y, we can't add variables to the number. So keep as it is. So plus x and plus y as it is. So now I have obtained summation W. Now let us go for obtaining I into W totals. Now how to do that? I column you have to consider into W column you have to consider. So I value I has 195, 195 into the expenditure W value is x I have. So 195 into x, as it is you have to keep. Multiplication also not possible whenever variable we have with the number, simply you have to write beside. So 195 x it will become. So I have wrote as it is. Okay, now let us go for the next value. I value I have 192. So 192 into W value I have 130. 192 into 130. Now both are the numbers, so happily we'll multiply and we'll get the answer. So I've got as 24,960. Okay, next values also let us do. I value I has 145. So 145 into W value I have Y variable. So 145 into Y, I can't multiply, write down as it is. So 145 Y. So like that, go on all other values. Here both are the numbers I have. So simply multiply and get the answer. And next value also 106 into 80. I got the answer as 8048. So this is how I have obtained IW column. Now what we have to do? We have to add up all the values, right? So here also same logic how we have done for W. You can't add variables to the numbers. So only numbers part you added. Leftover leftover X and Y values as it is you have to keep with plus symbols. So what I have done here, single value, only values where you have this value and this value. All the three values I have added. I've got some total as 46,355. Now what are the leftover? Leftover is 195x. As it is you have to write, keep a plus symbol, then 145y as it is. Plus the value whatever we have added. So in this way we'll obtain the totals. So I have my values in our hand, IW totals and W totals. Now let us go for given information so that I can obtain my missing values. So what the given information we have in the question? Total earnings they have given. So total earnings is 850. Nothing but that is total of W, expenditure, total expenditure itself is our earnings. So 850. Let us equate that 850 to the summation W, whatever the value we got. So what is the value we have? 315 plus X plus Y is equal to 850. Now same logic again, only number to number you can add, you can multiply, you can subtract, not the variable and the number. So I have single number here 315 and single number here 850. That too I can subtract it. Take 315 to the other side. So what happens? It is with plus symbol, it goes to minus symbol. X, Y as it is, I am not doing anything to that. So X plus Y is equal to 850 minus 315. So I have got some answer as 535. So X plus Y is equal to 535 becomes our first equation. I'll be utilizing this equation again. For that, I am giving it as equation 1. So next, I have taken the formula cost of living index. So cost of living index total also they have given 160. So 160 is equal to summation IW by summation W I have considered. Now summation IW, the total whatever we got in the last column, write down here 160 as it is, the total here, and downside summation W total they have given expenditure total, right, earnings. So 850 directly I wrote here instead of that X plus Y and all. I have taken summation W already they have given. So directly I have taken it as 850. Now let us solve this equation also. So I said number to number we can do, right? So 850 I am taking to the other side. It is in division, goes to multiplication. So 850 into 160 I have considered. Then here value, next step value, what happens is here plus symbol is there, no? 355, it's with plus symbol, goes to the other side, equal to other side and becomes minus. So altogether I have taken in one step. So this is your step here. So now what you do is multiply 850 into 160, you got some value, and this value as it is I wrote 46,355 as it is. In next step we'll subtract. So starting whatever the left hand side is there as it is I am doing, I am copying the same, not doing anything because X and Y also we can't add. So we have to keep as it is. So again next step also 195x plus 145y as it is equal to what I have done is I have subtracted this first value and the second value I have subtracted. I have got some answer. Now take this as equation number 2. Now equation 1 I have, equation 2 I have. So let us solve both of them so that we can get X and Y values. So to solve whenever two equations are there, to solve them we have a logic like X and X value from the first equation and X value from the second equation. The value should be same so that one will be subtracted to the other and it becomes 0. If one value goes to 0, the other value will be easily identified, right? So that is the logic whenever two equations are considered. So what I do here is I'll make one of the values equal from both the equations, then I'll solve that equations. So what I'm doing here is I'm checking out equation 1. What we have, equation 1, x plus y is equal to 535. Okay. Now second equation what we got, 95x plus 145y is equal to some value. So either we have to make equal x values or y values. So here what I am doing is I am making equal as y values. So what I have to do is what the y coefficient I have beside y, what the number I have, 145 I have. So this 145, if I multiply to equation 1 to the entire equation, then the first and second value of y will be equal. So that I can subtract and make y value as 0. So that is the logic how to deal. You can equate with x also. Here I am considering with y. So equation 1 multiply with 145. So whenever we are operating some new thing, we have to go for entire equation multiplication. So for x, y and beside value, right hand side value, everything we have to multiply with 145. Check it out here I am writing. So we have as x plus y is equal to, it is a value here, first equation, x plus y is equal to 535 I have it. So x plus y is equal to 535 we have. For that, you have to multiply with 145. To the LHS, RHS, both we need to multiply. So, I have multiplied and I have got this answer. So, 145x, 145x, 145y is equal to, I have multiplied 145 with 535, I have got this answer. Now, this becomes equation number 3. Now, let us solve equation 2 and 3 so that we can obtain x value. Now, how to do that? Copy equation 2 as it is. Now, equation 1, whatever we have made changes, that becomes equation 3. That downside you write down. So, here I have wrote that one. So, now we have to do the subtractions. So, introduce minus sign here. Now, check it out. 1 plus 145 minus 145 cancelled and it becomes 0. Okay. Now, first term 195 minus 145 you do 50x we got. Now, this side, right hand side also, this value subtract with this value, got some answer as 12070. Okay, so this is how we'll solve it. Now, I need x value, right? So, what I am doing is x as it is here on the left side, the multiplication part goes to the other side and becomes a division. So, 12070 divided by 50 you do, got the answer for x. So, x value I have obtained now. Now, we have to go for obtaining y value. So, how to do that? You can take this x value and you can substitute in equation 1 or 2 so that you can get your y value. So, what I am doing is I am substituting this x value in equation 1. So, what is equation 1 we have? X plus y is equal to 535 I have, right? So, in that substitute, replace x value or substitute x value. So, x I have got as 241.4, right? So, 241.4 plus y as it is equal to 535 as it is. So, this one I have done. Now, I said no, number to number only you have to deal. So, 241.4, take it to the other side. It is with plus symbol and becomes a minus symbol. So, 535 minus 241.4 you do. Got the answer as y is equal to 293.6. So, in this way, we will obtain both the values. So, x value I have obtained. One of the missing value under food it's missing, right? So, I have obtained that. And for y also I have obtained. For rent, both values we have obtained that. So, therefore, the amount spent on food x is 241.4 and for rent rupees is 293.6. So, this is how we will obtain the missing values. Use the same formula, whatever we have for CLIN, use the same. And some clues they will give, that is totals, total of CLIN, like that totals they'll give, utilize them and obtain the missing values. So, this is how we'll obtain the missing values. Whenever like a single value also they may miss, like x you have to consider and you have to do double value, means this is the pattern. So, consider them as x and y and go for it. So, hope you have understood this missing values data in CLIN concept. So, see you all in the next session. Thank you.